Today, I'm fixing my future because someone has to. If you start my savings and investment plans with Old Mutual today, then my future will be smoother than Dad's head. So you get advice from the people at Old Mutual, and I'll get those gold stars to make you proud. Any questions?
Do future doctors pack their own lunches?
Start their journey by speaking to an Old Mutual financial advisor today. Invest in their future. Do great things every day.
Hello and welcome to iDiskiTV. My name is Nkululeko. I'm with Lindo Pep and Rhulani. Thank you very much for joining us. Please make sure you like, you subscribe and comment on our content. If you agree, you agree. If you disagree, you disagree. Next week, guaranteed, we'll be shooting other videos. And then, of course, suddenly, it will be 2030 and 2035 and 2034 and so on and so forth. We'll be shooting videos because we are content creators. Thank you very much for being here. So, the draw was conducted for the CAF Champions League. The group that we were interested in the CAF Champions League, given that we only have one team in the Champions League, was Mamelodi Sundowns' group. They were drawn alongside St. Elio Limpopo. Now, if it wasn't Limpopo, who knows? It could have been the name Orlando Pirates. Who else were they drawn against? It was MC Alger. MC Alger is coached by Coach Rhulani Mokwena. So in this conversation, we'll talk about what can we expect from Coach Rhulani Mokwena as he comes to South Africa from Algeria. He's number one in that league. It's not the first time that a South African coach comes back to South Africa against Sundowns. Can we expect something different? MC Alger lost to Orlando Pirates in the quarterfinals of the CAF Champions League last season. Can he improve that result from quarterfinals? What would it mean if he only remains in the group stages, given that the club was at the quarterfinals and they lost to Pirates last season? Muhaungota scoring a goal away from home. That's one of the heroic performances from the Orlando Pirates last season in the CAF Champions League. Later on in the video, we'll talk about the Cup Kings, Orlando Pirates. What does it mean? What does it mean for the players? What does it mean for the fans? And so on and so forth. And whether or not it is an important tag, and whether or not it improves the players' confidence and morale when they know that every trophy that they play, they are most likely going to win. Lindo Pep, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Good, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
You have a sponsorship?
No, I would love to actually. Out here, man. Out say Alex. Into like Sheiks Kungwan, Kasi Flavor,
Yeah.
KP.
Yeah, no, it looks like you are on the verge of signing a deal with them because you're a good ambassador.
No.
So you bought those jerseys from him.
Yeah, quite expensive. But yeah,
well, it should give you more.
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
You're auditioning.
If he's listening, I know he watches. He's a big lover. You know,
Sure.
The first time I met him, he said something very powerful to me. He said, "iDiskiTV 2020 is generational." He said that to me. He said, because he's a person who turned like these old stuff and he references like history a lot.
Yeah.
He says to me, Lindo, iDiskiTV 2020 is generational.
Nice one. Thank you so much. That year and the way that league ended. With Lord Kandala, actually. I was so nervous, basically, when it ended. But anyhow, Coach Rulani is coming back. Now, it's not the first time that Mamelodi Sundowns have got their former coach coming back. In fact, when Coach Peter Musimani came back, he came back with Al Ahly playing against Mamelodi Sundowns, and there were buses that were invaded, and there were placards, and there were people being sworn with their mothers' genitals, and so on and so forth. So suffice it to say that it was not an easy reunion between former coach and former club. This time around, it's Coach Rhulani Mokwena playing against Sundowns. I'm not sure if he's played them with the Wydad. I don't think he's played them in the CAF Champions League, really. What do you expect from him when he comes back to South Africa in these group stages? And what do you expect from the fans as well in terms of how they will receive him?
Yeah, Mr. Nkewu. Hey, man. Generational coach. But Jose Mourinho.
Yeah,
to be honest,
doing well in Algeria.
Unbelievable. Hasn't lost a match. I think he's top of the log with 2 games or 3 games in hand. Has conceded more. I think he has conceded only 3 goals. Kept a clean sheet. 1-0. Even the CAF Champions League is in the group stages. But when you get to Rulani, Mr. Nkewu, you're not just getting a coach. You're getting a tactical game model. And you are getting a system. When you're talking about Rulani, you are absolutely sure that the LC Alger will be dominant. They will have positional dominance. They'll be tactically disciplined, and they'll be very organized, which are very important elements in the CAF Champions League. We saw with Coach Pito, I think he learned from Coach Pito and the experienced coaches that he's surrounding himself with the tactical discipline, the organization of the team and making sure that we are position dominant, because he always wants to dominate the game. You watch his team in Algeria as well, they concede 0 chances. That's why they end most of the games with a 0. Yes, maybe it's a team that can create a lot of opportunities. They don't capitalize. They could be a little bit more clinical in the final third.
How do you think he will view his visit to South Africa? Do you think he will come here because, of course, Algeria was the quarterfinals. They lost to Orlando Pirates in the quarterfinals last season. That means they're not an inferior team, MC Alger, not by any stretch of the imagination. Do they come here? Because even if you think about it, even Abu Al Ahly, when they come to South Africa, they are very respectful because they understand the consequences. Do you think Coach Rulani comes here with an organized team, trying maybe to get a point in those group stages against the Sundowns?
That's why I'm saying organized tactical discipline. Mr. Nkewu, the one thing that he has to learn himself personally is that if our emotions are a game, he has to come here understanding that Mamelodi Sundowns on paper, they have the squad depth and the quality. Mamelodi Sundowns also has the football heritage on their advantage. It's quarterfinal, semi-final, final of the CAF Champions League. So that he has to respect. He has to respect the quality of those players. But also the other advantage is he understands that it's not a tactical battle. It might be a psychological war, because he understands the dressing room dynamics. He understands the struggles that are happening at Mamelodi Sundowns. He understands the pressure. He understands the blueprint. Sometimes it's like Ngati, it's a general who understands the other general's army inside out. He's got the blueprint of what is expected at Mamelodi Sundowns. So for me, he's coming into a playing against the Mamelodi Sundowns team that he understands very well, Mr. Nkewu. That in terms of player quality, probably they're very superior. They've got the football heritage, like I said. But also, he's coming into a team that he understands that Mamelodi Sundowns can punish you at any given time. So for him personally, he understands where he is in his phase.
He'll probably be respectful when he comes here in terms of not go all out attack, respect that there's a possibility that, especially when he comes to South Africa, maybe he might attack Sundowns in Algeria, but when he comes here, he might be accepting of getting maybe a result.
For sure. If you even watch him in the preliminary rounds, both games, when he's playing away, he's been a little bit pragmatic, unlike Rulani, where he's willing to sacrifice himself. And that's the coaching growth and the evolution in his coaching, where he understands that, hey, hello, I'm not in South Africa. I don't have maybe the profile of the players that I want in terms of game model application. Sure. But now I've got maybe technical players that can pick a pass from deep. I've got players that love defending for their lives. I've got maybe probably one of the best goalkeepers in Algeria. I've got the resources. I've got the resources, I think is the right word, because I think he's got the best. I think he's the only team in Algeria that has the facilities. They've got the money.
There's
they've got the
decent teams there, but I think MC and Usma, there's USM Alger, there's Belouizdad. So there's like 3 teams that are really good. But the MC Alger did well last season. And of course, it's a historic team. Let me press you on the fans' perspective in Mamelodi Sundowns. Because we know, I asked this question because we remember what happened when the last coach came to South Africa, which is Coach Pitso Mosimane, against specifically Sundowns. That it was tense, there was mutual dislike from both parties, and then of course there were some fans and so on and so forth. We know how that ended. Do you think Sundowns fans have bad or ill feelings towards Coach Rulani to a point where there might be some negativity, or it will just be a normal game where, okay, we see you, we like you, we used to like you when you were here, but let's watch a game?
Mamelodi Sundowns fans absolutely love Coach Rulani, because he's one of the coaches that made them feel something when we were watching his team. But how those fans are, they quickly move on. Most of them are glory hunters. So what they are looking for is results. Very results-driven football club. Very stylistic, sophisticated game model related. So for me, they'll go into that game making sure that they want to win that football game, because obviously they've got ambitions of winning the CAF Champions League. So with regards to the fans, to be honest, Mr. Nkewu, you can't anticipate. You can't.
As long as there's no drama. Because it's not like when he left. Okay, I know that he took Lodge, but Lodge, I mean, maybe Sundowns didn't want to use him. But it's not like when he left, he wanted to take 5 players as a Mamelodi Sundowns, and there's this bad blood. I don't think it will be the same as it was with Coach Pitso.
They did it when he was at Pirates. I'm expecting better emotional intelligence from the fans, understanding.
I think the Pirates incident was driven by what he had said. I can't remember exactly, but he said something on the Tuesday or the Monday of that week. about the Sundowns and so on and so forth. And I think that was percolating because of my press conferences. And then it was not something out of nothing. And I'm not saying, of course, those things should happen. But you say something about your former club, they say something, and then fans want to get involved.
I think this time around might be different because he's got the blueprint. He's the architect. He's helped build the Mamelodi Sundowns. And he probably knows where the cracks are. For me, I believe that Miguel Cardoso is more under pressure than Coach Rulani. That's why I think the fans might be lenient. And to be honest with you, knowing the Mamelodi Sundowns fans, because they want Miguel Cardoso gone, they want Rulani to win.
They might wish. Yeah,
they want Rulani to win. Also, there's this element of saying, we want to prove that Rulani is a better coach. Even him himself, he wants to come to South African football and prove himself again that, hey, hello, you guys released the generational coach. And this is the perfect game to prove it. But also, the fans cannot be emotional. He cannot be emotional. Understanding that it might be a tactical battle, but also a psychological battle. But for me, Mr. Nkewu, it's very difficult to anticipate what the Mamelodi Sundowns fans will do.
Oh, we should assume, because we are civil people.
For sure.
We should assume that the fans will want to just watch a football match.
For sure.
Unless things are said and then we can build up. Hopefully nothing is said in the build up to that
He
particular
will say
match.
something, trust me.
No, I don't think that he will incite people.
I think he will. He
No,
likes
it doesn't
those-
even make sense why
He
would do
will.
that. No, it doesn't make sense. Because you remember the bus and Ipaska Coach Pizzo, and the people were standing in front of it. That's so dangerous that you don't want to do something stupid where people can be so encouraged that they want to go and attack your
Knowing
bus.
Rulani, that's why they call him
Why would
Jose
he
Mourinho.
incite people? That doesn't make sense.
Maybe he might not incite people, but he will play the game
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes.
press conference.
Yeah, of course.
The match will start there. He's more like a Jose Mourinho. Rulani is like a Pizzo Mosimani. That's why we call him a generational coach. It's because in any league that he goes to, he becomes the Hollywood star. Everyone watches the Algerian Premier League, the Moroccan League, in the PSL. Go and check the views in his press conferences. He's that kind of a coach. He's
He
a
attracts a lot of journalists. It's abnormal. When he was in at Wydad, there were an abnormal number of journalists who would be there at the press conference, like maybe 50 people, where normally there's only 10 people.
But for him to win the Champions League, he's going to have to learn to know when to sacrifice himself. He cannot be a star all the time. And this was the problem sometimes at Mamelodi
Right,
Sundowns.
we need to move it on. Do you have any, from a personal point of view, Rulani's MCLJ is playing against Mamelodi Sundowns on that day. What's your wish then? You wish your Sundowns to win, or you wish your Rulani to win?
I love that football club. I love Coach Rulani for what he's done for people from Soweto. But I will always want a South African team to win, in my opinion. I would want Mamelodi Sundowns to win that football game.
All right, nice one. We'll be here next to you and we'll be observing whether or not that is true. That's a very good PR answer for now, but I'll take it. It comes from your heart. Now, let's switch gears. So, Orlando Pirates are yet in another cup final. They won the MTN 8. They were in the final of the Nedbank Cup, losing to Kaizer Chiefs. They've been to many finals in the last 5 years. In fact, they've won the MTN 8 4 times in a row. Sometimes the times that they did not win, maybe they would have lost in the final, or I think in the last 6 years, they've won it 5 times, the MTN 8. They've won the Nedbank Cup, beating Sundowns, Relebohile Mofokeng doing something magical on the last minute. So, want to talk about the Cup Kings tag, because it's not the first time that a team is termed Cup Kings, and Orlando Pirates do deserve that tag. Now, once upon a time, SuperSport United had a run where they would win with about Jeremy Proki, Bradley Grobler, Grant Kekana was still there, Ronan Williams was still there as well. They had a run where I think in maybe 8 trophies, they won 5 or 6, and they were always in the reckoning for trophies. When we were kids, Kaizer Chiefs would win trophies to a point where they were talking about Operation Fat Alice. Of course, at the time, they also did not win the major prize, which is the national championship, the league as well. Now, I want to talk to you about the tag Cup Kings, specifically for this era. Of course, that's Orlando Pirates' tag. That's their crown.
Yeah.
Cup Kings. How significant is it vis-a-vis winning a Champions League, vis-a-vis winning a league national championship?
Yeah, Mr. Nkewu, Orlando Pirates, that narrative of Cup King for me is no longer a consolation. I think it's an expectation. I think Orlando Pirates comes into every season without using the word hope, but they expect to win each and every domestic cup. I think that they've got the quality, they've got the coach, they've got the big game temperament, which is something that for me was always questionable. Orlando Pirates behlezi ingen up emgodini every time when they had to rise and they went into a show. And you could see, for me, that's what fascinates me about, and credit to the technical director, Orlando Pirates, for identifying this in the last 2 years, that they needed, because they've always been a percentage team where they need special players to perform, but now they've built a system, they've built a culture of where the team needs to be the star. Mope Orlando Pirates is whether they've got to Tito, whether they've got to Rilem Fukeng, they still perform the same way, with the same intensity, with the same application, with the same level of tactical discipline, maybe other than the fact that they lost a Lupopo. But when you watch them, they look super fit. Credit to the conditioning coaches as
they
well.
beat Lupopo 3-0 as well.
They put Lupopo 3-0, but credit to the conditioning coaches and so on and so on. But Mr. Nkewu, it's very important to mention this with the Orlando Pirates, that for me, there was a season where Orlando Pirates, we were asking questions of saying, when will they win a trophy? But now the question is, why are they not winning the league? And for me, they do have the quality to win the league. For me, I think when I started the season, I said that Orlando Pirates would be difficult for them to win the league based on the players that they sign. But with the coach that they have now, I'm starting to change my tune based on the fact that I've seen that Orlando Pirates has become a team that relies on the system to win. And they've got they've got both, in my opinion, where they allow the system. We've seen it when they play against Chipa United, where they allow the system to play its role. But when they play against the Mamelodi Sundowns, they would allow individual brilliance. We saw that pass deep that found Isbelebele to score. On both games, we saw the goalie dancing. So they are a team that can rely on individual brilliance based on the players that they have, but they can also rely on the team. They create the same goals. They build out the same. The intensity is the same. How they attack each and every football game, they play the same. Whether they play in Durban, in Cape Town, in Orlando Stadium, in DRC, it changes nothing. The style of play is now the same. They've got a team there.
Back to this point.
Yeah.
You win trophies. No one will cry tears for winning trophies.
Yeah.
Everyone will be happy about that. Is that, of course, Pirates being a big team, the expectation then elevates to what stops you then from winning something that takes 10 months over 30 matches, which is the national championship?
Clubs build reputation and they build belief, which is what Orlando Pirates has already. But for me, winning leagues build legacy. And now the country has seen Orlando Pirates having a belief and having the reputation of winning Cups.
Yeah, there's no shortage of confidence. You win trophies left, right, and center. But then when do you convert the confidence to something more significant?
We want them to build legacy now. And the legacy comes from the consistency. Can we have players at Orlando Pirates that don't only perform for 3 games? Can we have players at Orlando Pirates that are consistent for 10, 15 games? Can we see Emiremi not only scoring in 3 games, but can we see him scoring in 5? Can we have Mahopa constantly scoring? Can we have a consistent performance from Musipo Chayena, from Musihle Nduli, from the 2 centre-backs who are consistent? Yes, I'm praising Umbogazi. But can we have a full 30 games of high level of consistency from Umbogazi, Siema, Talent Mbata, all those Orlando Pirates? And I'm very critical as well of the creative department of Orlando Pirates, where, for me, this is the difference now. Mamelodi Sundowns has been a team that relies on the system. Pirates has the system and they've got the individual brilliance. In terms of player quality, they've got a young squad. They have built a team, Mr. Nkewu, that can dominate for 3-4 years, in my opinion, considering the fact that Abu Mrema is still less than 23. If I'm not mistaken. You watch Orlando Pirates play, you can see NH, you can see the youth, you can see the liveliness, you can see the tactical application, you can see the tactical evolution. So for me, that is more important. Can we speak about consistency? The fans have been playing their role. They're making sure that they always have a 12th man.
Yeah.
Can we have consistency from the players? The coach is also building what Mamelodi Sundowns used to have, where they don't just rely on individual brilliance.
Let's talk about the coaches a little bit in regards to Cup Kings. We've always had coaches who win trophies in South Africa. In fact, somewhere between 2004 and 2008, there's a guy called Paul Dollizer who starts winning trophies even with teams like Bloemfontein Celtic. If I'm not mistaken, he wins the SAA Super 8, but his specialty is winning trophies. And even with Chiefs, Mohsen Etugrol is a respected coach who won things except for the league. He won trophies. I'm going somewhere with this, that if you include Jose Rivero with those coaches who win trophies but not league titles, is that when we talk about coaches who have won substantial things, we will always remember Pitso Mosemane with 5 league titles, Gavin Hunt with 4 league titles, Tetu Mitro with 4 league titles, Gordon Egerson with 4 league titles. I say all of that to say, and you mentioned something very important with legacy, that for Abdeslam Ouaddou, this will be nice to win trophies. Of course, it builds confidence. You get bonuses as a team. Even the confidence of knowing that we are a good team in this country. If we win the MTN 8, the Carling Knockout, maybe the Nedbank Cup, we are a good team in this country. There's no doubt about it. But there will always be a lingering question mark, specifically with the coaches, including Jose Rivero, that if the only thing you win are maybe a collection of 5 trophies. You know, and that is not more than 20 matches if you count how many matches were played there. That's where the legacy question comes in now with the coaches.
Yeah, for me, it is more about legacy now at Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates has won every trophy that is domestically in South African football. I believe that for me, winning leagues build a legacy. And that's the legacy that you're talking about. When you speak about Kevin Hunt, you speak about his legacy of winning 4 league titles. When you speak about the legacy of Stuart Baxter, the legacy of Coach Pim, similar. So for me, when I'm looking at the Coach Ward, and I was thinking about this yesterday, or while I was coming to work today, I was thinking, Mr. Nkewu, imagine in the 5-year project that they have, the Orlando Pirates, they're on 4. And they've already built reputation and belief, right? Which is very critical in any project that you're building, more especially in the first 5 years. That's why you have to give the technical director credit for what is done in this 5-year project, because in the first 3 years, they won 5 trophies. They're in their 4th year. Yes, maybe they're out of the CAF Champions League. Think about it like this, and we're just hypothetically thinking, they win the league this year, Orlando Pirates, and they qualify for the CAF Champions League next season. Maybe Mamelodi Sundowns, because of the stature of the club, they continue to dominate and win the league the next season. But Orlando Pirates wins the CAF Champions League. In the 5 years, they would have won 7 trophies, a league, and a CAF Champions League. And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking of that legacy, and I'm thinking, Orlando Pirates would have achieved something incredible in 5 years.
It makes it more special if you include the Continental Championship and the National Championship. It makes it much more special.
Because that's the legacy that's the only thing that's left in the project that they've wanted to build.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then. I think this is not a negative. I think that it helps you when you win trophies.
Yeah, for sure.
It gives you confidence.
For sure.
It gives the idea that you can beat people. Because in these trophies, in some matches you beat Chiefs, in some matches you beat Sundowns. At some point you find Bosuwele, Maromo Gallants. You tell yourself as a coach that there's no team in the last 5 years we haven't met and we haven't defeated in trophies. So that's not something to be looked at and maybe you look down upon that. It's something worth... It's worth something to win these trophies. However, when you then want to say to the guys, to encourage them to say, now, for your families and for your names, let's win the league for Pirates.
There's nothing that is more important for than winning the league at Orlando Pirates now. Those players, there's no group of players in this country that deserve to win the league than those Orlando Pirates players. For me, you're looking at a team that would be generational if they were to win the league. Young, quality, how they scouted those players, the processes. Orlando Pirates would have built something that when you look at their project, their 5-year project, you say, this has been the most successful project in the history maybe of South African football, if they do achieve what they need to achieve in these 2 years that's left. For me, I'm very impressed with the scouting department at Orlando Pirates to find Abo Mbogazi, Mohankota, Relebuyile Mfukeng, to find, you look at all that squads at Orlando Pirates from Sipo China.
That is ridiculous.
From Sipo China, Mr. Nkewu.
All of them are ready. Like, they don't need 4 months to play for Pirates.
Mr. Nkewu, they found China as a third choice. We don't know where they found Umbogazi. To even sport to CM ahead of Nkululeko Ndamase, now this boy Uzulu, who plays Nkululeko Ndamase, or Sinoka, who was playing double centre back. Nkululeko to see Usiema and pick him, and now he's one of the best performing centre backs. Dino van Rooyen, yes, maybe they added to Dino while he was a performing player. Dion Hoto, but you look at the squad, they found Umbata with DDC. They found Utito not really being a star player at Supersport. They've really School of Excellence, Nkota, TDC.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
I don't think we've seen that happening.
That's why I'm saying, Mr.
Maybe Dr. Jomasola did it, but sporadically with some players, maybe 2 players out of 11, you will find gems. But I don't think we've ever seen the consistency of gems by one team, a big team, which it didn't buy them for 40 million. After being top goal scorers, they just found them. Like, of course, they were not nowhere, but they were finding players who suit their style.
Mr. Nkewu,
also they fit in within less than 2 or 3 matches.
Mr. Nkewu, another thing why we need, as South African football fans, and in the fraternity, why we need that project to work. It is belief that you don't need these hundreds of millions to build a really, really competitive and a continental giant. They built a continental giant of a team with 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds that they found from development lentus. That model needs to work. And
if they stick together, we're out of time.
Sure.
If they stick together and they win something, that will be exemplary.
It will be exemplary. And now you start to question Kukuna United, all these teams, to say, Why are we not following the same model? Pirates did not spend a single cent on Relay, on Bogazi, on Kota, on all of these players, on Siema. So let's follow the same. Can we scout a little bit more? Can we use our eyes a little bit more? Can we be more involved? Can we hire the best people for the jobs? Which is what the technical team of the Orlando Pirates, the management, has done. Credit to the management, technical team, the team of the Orlando Pirates and those players.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Lindo Pep. It's a Monday. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. Let us know if you agree or disagree. Please make sure you subscribe and you like the content as well. This week, it will be Bafana Bafana is the international week, so there isn't much in the way of us. You won't see us too much on YouTube. We'll be here maybe Friday and on Saturday as well with Bafana Bafana playing. And then on next week, Monday, but we won't see us too many times. Maybe there'll be like a 4-day gap between us engaging with you. We hope you enjoyed these conversations. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you for watching.
Boom.
For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.